Hello friends. In the field of development, we are very much familiar with the word called CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment. This is a section that comes under the DevOps. Through this particular image, I will try to illustrate what are the different phases that CI/CD pipeline has to go through. Not only that, I will demonstrate that I have already done this, and I will give a very short brief go through that how exactly I am achieving this. So starting with the code, so I have written a Python Django project, so consider this to be my code. In this code I have got a Docker file. Well, right now I'm not discussing anything about the code part. I'm just going to give a graphical presentation that how exactly in a manual way I have implemented CI/CD. So I have got a Docker file where I have mentioned certain code snippets which will tell Docker that how exactly it is going to use this particular project, in what way it should make use of, what are the dependencies it will make use of, all those things I've mentioned. So that's how the code part comes in. Now comes the question where I will be building an image. That means I have to transform my code into a process whereby I will build an image, and for doing that I will be using the command called docker build. This command will be fired at the local system, that means in my own virtual environment of my Python project. Again, I'm telling you, in this video I'm not discussing about the code, which I will do in upcoming videos, but this is just an introductory video about CI/CD in a manual representation. So once the build has been done, that means it has able to transform my project into an image. Now comes the question, that is, I have created the image in my system, right? Now I cannot keep it in my system. I have to pass it to somewhere. And where I will be passing? GitHub container registry, GHCR. How do I do that? With the help of docker push command, I will be pushing the image which is present in my system, that is holding my code. That image I will pass it in the form of a package through this particular command to GitHub container registry. Once I have done this, so this is under package, I will show you something. Let's come to my GitHub. Here is the GitHub I have got. As I click on this, you will see I have logged in my profile. Under the package, this is what the image is, which I have uploaded an hour ago. If I click on this image, what you will see, a command that is need to pull it down. What do I mean by pull? Okay, let's get back to the image once again. So my package is done. So these three phases will come under the continuous integration, which I am doing right now manually through the help of these commands. Okay, so once the package is now present in GitHub container registry, well, now you must be asking that how exactly Docker knew where to push it. Well, in this particular syntax we have to mention the which particular container you are going to use, because you can use AWS as a container, Azure as a container, Google Cloud Platform as a container, even GitHub. So there is a unique way of representation that where exactly you want to push this, or who is going to be your container. That I have done, and you also need to mention your username, otherwise how exactly it will be able to identify for which user this container belongs to, I mean this image belongs to, or this package belongs to. So GitHub, while firing this command, you have to mention that. Once you have done this, now you are in a very important phase, and where it comes now, so my application is now present in GitHub, and once you have done that, I have to pull this particular image down. But for that you need something called VPS, virtual private server, and I'm using Hostinger. Unfortunately I cannot click over here, it will show me the credentials. So in short, you need to have a virtual private server where you will be getting the terminal, and in that terminal you will be firing a particular command, and that is called Docker pull, which you can see right over here. See, it's saying you have to go for Docker pull. This is the one which I was telling, that you have to identify how GitHub container registry will be used with the help of this portion, ghcr.io. So that's a unique way of representing GitHub container.io. And then comes my username, as you can see, and finally the image name or the file name that I have uploaded over here. Okay, so this is your actual image that was built initially in my local system. I have uploaded it into the GitHub package container registry so that it can be distributed. So where I'm distributing this? I'm distributing this in my Hostinger. So inside the Hostinger, I will log into the Hostinger and with my credential, and then I will go for Docker pull, as you can see right over here. The moment I do that, this particular thing will be deployed in my Hostinger GUI Docker application, which I can show you. As you can see over here, I've connected in my domain name swaroop-app.in called Portainer. Portainer is a GUI representation of the containerization that has been created by Docker. So let me log into this. I've given the username as admin, and now I'm going to give my password, and let me click on this. Just a second, I gave a wrong password. Let me check it once again, why I'm giving a wrong password. Still it's wrong. That's very unfortunate. Yeah, now it is correct. Somewhere typing mistake was there. So now I have connected into the GUI of my Docker container, and it is already connected. So let me click on this, and it will show me the container which I have created. Well, currently you can see the images. As you can see over here, these are the images. So I have one image in context to Spring Boot. I have an image for Python for testing an application. This is the image that I have uploaded, which you can see from GitHub package. Look over here, it is showing the same name, ghcr.io/tech-swaroop/app-name, and this is the tag name called letters. Tag plays a very important role. See, this is what I have uploaded. I have uploaded this, and today is 18th at 4:55 a.m. At 4:55 a.m. I uploaded that, as you can see right over here, the time when I uploaded this image. So you have to as you can see in the diagram, that you have to upload the image. So distribution has been done with the help of Docker pull, and now I will go for run. Well, I have already fired the command. Well, there is a command for Docker run also. So once you fire that command, if you come to my dashboard, as you can see over here to the container, I have already executed my application. So this is the application which you are seeing right now, that is already in the running state. Okay, so this is the application. Here you can see the port number that the Hostinger is using, and this is a port number which my Django project is using. So 8001:8000. So this is a port number for my reverse proxy, and that has to be done by the help of nginx. Because when I will give the call to my API or website, of course I will not write all these things, neither I will write the IP address. Rather, what I will do is that I will go for a proper name, and like what you can see right over here. So I have already deployed my application, and that's what I'm going to show you over here. So you can see right now this is already executing, because I have deployed and it is already running. So as you can see, the run is already there. So now we can monitor, we can see how exactly my application is working. As you can see over here, I don't have any terminal. Okay, I can close this terminal even to show you that I don't have any terminal right now in my system. It is running directly from the cloud with the help of Docker container that I have deployed in my Hostinger VPS. So I will be creating a user over here. Let me click this, and as I do that, it says email already exists. That means by this particular email the username already belonged to. So that means this API is working perfectly fine. So let's create one more user over here by the name called Swaroop, and let me give the username as Swaroop123. Swaroop123. First name is I don't want to tell my first name. So my last name is Shah, and the password, let it be same. Now let's create this user. As I click on this, it says, see, this is the ID number 3. That means 2 user already there in my system, and my user account got created successfully. So that means my application is working very smoothly right over here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is that I will be firing my next API call. So after I've registered, now I want to go for login. So I tap on this. That brings me to the next API call where I will be providing the username. So as I do that, this application already making use of JWT authentication. So after I log in, I will be able to get the token. As we know that JWT has got access token and refresh token. So the project which I have created over here, it makes use of that token. Or you can say I have got a dependency that makes use of token. So that means few minutes ago I said that in this particular file, Docker file, you have to mention all the dependencies. You have to mention and how these dependencies are connected. Dependency list will be there in the requirement.txt, but the connectivity will be done through the help of Docker file. Okay, now I will be going for login. After I have done login successfully, it will give me the access token. So, and we know the access token is for a short span of time. So I will open another API route where from I can see the user details, and that I will connect through the help of, let me remove this token from here. I will be connecting it. I will doing the authorization with the help of bearer token. Okay, so first let me log in first. As I do that, my application provide me the access token. That means everything is running perfectly fine. Let me copy the access token from here. Let me come to this particular route. Let's go to the authentication. What type of bearer token? I put the token over here and I click on the send button. It gives me the detail back. So that means my token is working perfectly fine. As we know that access token is for a short span of time, as I click it, still I get to see I've given a very short duration for the access token, because after that the token will be invalid. So still it is visible, still it is working perfectly fine. Let's go and hit the send button once again, and as I do that, now it says the token validation error, signature expired. So that means my access token is working perfectly fine. Okay, so that's what my protected route, you can say. So this particular route is protected route. You can log into this particular route only if the token is valid, otherwise you will not be able to log into this particular protected route. And finally I have got one more route which is meant for logout. So as I click on this, I will be able to log out from my application, and it will say that you have successfully logged out. So that means 4 different routes you can see, and all these 4 routes I have able to activate through this particular, as you can see right over here, this particular project which is running. So that means according to the CI/CD pipeline, what I have done is the manual way of deployment. That means I have written all the code through this entire 1, 2, 3, first 3 phases for my CI, and the next 4 phases for the CD. I have done it. And I showed you that how GitHub is playing the role in the form of packages, and how the image has been transformed, and then comes the deployment part. For that you need some server who is going to deploy it. But this is a complete manual DevOps process, and honestly speaking, what I have understood is until and unless you don't do it manually, you will not be able to understand what is happening in the automation process. So CI/CD is practically an automation process, but before you get into the automation, you have to go through all these 7 stages. So now I will be, in my upcoming videos, I will be showing some of the video I will make on context to these phases. But if you talk about my final target, definitely to implement CI/CD in the automated format, and for that reason I will be needing GitHub action. Along with that, I also need to write YML. So that's other thing that what I will be doing, and I will be showing you as the process goes on. And the only thing that matter over here is that I am using the live Hostinger server. So with the help of server VPS, I'm showing this application. So that's the difference between like the other way of doing and my way, my video which I'm doing is that's where the difference lies. I'm not just restricting myself within the free account. Rather I'm exploring it when it comes to the paid account, because this is a paid version of VPS which I'm using it. Okay, so that's all from this video presentation. I hope you understood how exactly DevOps CI/CD pipelining works, but again, this is a manual way of implementation. Okay, Hope to see you soon. Bye bye. Take care.